Danielle here from Ladies That Lead, Cultivating Superior Businesswoman, and today I have the amazing Fiona with me. How are you going, Fiona?
Doing great today, thanks Danielle.
Perfect, glad to have you here. So, please share with us a little bit about your business journey, you know, how your business has kind of evolved over the years and how it all kind of started out and what kind of ignited the spark in you to start out your business venture initially.
Yeah, interesting question. So I've actually been involved in network marketing for 23 years. So without adding, I got started when I was 22. Was first exposed when I was 17, but obviously just wasn't quite mature enough to really see the full, opportunity that was being presented to me at the time. I think from an early age, I really wasn't a job person. I think I probably was always secretly entrepreneurial. So yeah, I've always leaned that way. I think I'm currently a certified life coach, and throughout my network marketing journey, I always felt that there was something missing that I could really, step things up and offer people more. So I kind of went into that field as well, and I'm also a law of attraction practitioner. So I've managed to marry all three together. So it was a plan for me from way back, and then just one day I woke up and said, right, I'm doing it. So
perfect.
That's kind of where I'm at right now, yeah.
Okay, so how did the idea for your business sort of come about? And if you had the chance to start your career over again, is there anything that you'd do differently?
How did the idea come about? Well, I'm not sure. And when I initially got started when I was 22, it probably wasn't really an idea. It was a leaflet in my letterbox.
Yeah.
Which I thought, wow, this sounds cool. If I had the chance to start over, what would I do differently? To be perfectly honest, I think I'd like to think of my journey as failing forward. Yep. I don't know that I would change anything, to be honest, because I think everything that I've learned along my journey has brought me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I'd really change anything. I don't really have a lot of regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Great. Alrighty. So how has been, becoming an entrepreneur affected your family life?
Oh, hugely. I've been able to be at home for both my boys. My oldest is 10 and my youngest is 18 months. So that gives you an idea. I've been able to see all their major milestones. And, had I been working a full-time job, I don't think I would have had that opportunity. I've been able to see them both take their first steps, and that you just can't, you can't trade that for anything.
Yeah.
And, when they've been sick, which has been very few times, but I've been able to be there. Any tough times, I've been able to be there. So yeah. I think that's been a really large part of being an entrepreneur, is just being there for key moments.
Yeah, 100%. So would you say that sort of that time flexibility then around your business is sort of your favourite thing about being an entrepreneur and having your own business?
Definitely the lifestyle aspect. My other half works in IT and he travels quite a bit, and it's really great to be able to have a business that's portable so that I can sort of say on occasions, hey, I'd love to come with you on that trip.
Yeah.
Obviously working a job, I wouldn't have that chance.
No.
For me, it's all about lifestyle, being able to choose what I want to do when I want to do it, not being dictated to by someone else. That to me is just the biggest, you can't replace that sort of freedom, I don't think.
Yeah, 100%. So what sort of motivates you in business that really gets your kind of juices flowing?
I'm a bit of a stats junkie, I've got to admit. Yeah, look, I set myself targets every month. I'm quite a competitive and high achieving individual. So I challenge myself pretty much constantly. So, I always look back over my numbers and go, okay, what worked, what didn't work? How can we do this better? I'm all about constant improvement. So that's really the kinds of things that really drive me. I mean, I'm a driven person anyway.
Yeah. Perfect. It's always good to set those expectations of ourselves though, isn't it? Because obviously when you do become an entrepreneur, you are your own boss. You are, initially probably the marketer, the sales, the everything.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's important to be able to have that self-motivating, self-starter element, because it's without it you probably wouldn't go far in business, would you? If you didn't
absolutely.
Have that.
And,
Yeah.
I think if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Yeah, exactly right.
You can set stuff that's easy to achieve, but, what's the fun in that?
Yeah. Who doesn't love a challenge?
Indeed.
Yeah. So what is your sort of your greatest fear, and how do you sort of manage fear?
Another interesting question. To be honest, I've certainly had a lot of fears over the years. When I got started in business, I had a tremendous fear in talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm over that now.
Yeah.
I have found, again, throughout my journey, facing fears head on is the only way to overcome any sort of fear, is just to do it, because it very rarely is as bad as what you think it is in your mind. What is my greatest fear now? Probably heights.
Yeah.
It's a difficult question for me to answer. I don't necessarily have a lot of fears around my business.
Yeah.
I've been at one extreme to the other. I've been in heavy debt and not succeeding, and I've had some really awful clients. So I've been at, both ends of the spectrum.
Yep.
And yeah, from a business point of view, there's not really anything that concerns me that much anymore, to be honest, because I've kind of seen the broad spectrum.
Great. So you'll be booking a bungee jump after this call?
No, I really won't. No, being honest there, definitely not.
No Sunday skydives?
No, I like my feet firmly on the ground. Unless, of course, I'm flying somewhere. I can deal with that.
Okay. So who has been your greatest inspiration?
I'd say there's been many. Over the years, I think Jim Rohn has probably been my biggest one.
Yeah.
His quotes have just – I've been very lucky to be in the same room with him and see him live, which
fantastic.
To me was an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't know, not a lot of people had that opportunity, and I've still kept the notes, from that day.
Wow.
And I've kept a lot of his teachings. I've adopted a lot of his teachings. I've kept the journals. I've done all that sort of stuff. So I think he probably has been. Over the years, I've had lots of inspiring people that have affected my life. As a child, I wanted to become a professional tennis player, and I just thought Steffi Graf was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I just worshipped her as a teenager. So there are different people in different contexts, but I think from a business point of view, it would definitely be Jim Rohn for sure.
Perfect. So any other sort of books or films that, are a must-see or a must-read, or that you'd recommend to the ladies watching?
Well, I think it's going to sound pretty cliche, but because I'm a law of attraction practitioner, I think The Secret and What the Bleep Do We Know are two absolute must-sees, I think.
Yeah.
And more than once, it took me several watches to really get my head around what was being taught there when I watched them, initially. Mm-hmm. I think the book that's probably had the most prophetic effect on me would be Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. To me, that is the Bible of the law of attraction. And, I truly believe that your thoughts and your feelings are everything.
Yeah.
That's just the foundation of life, really. So to me, that is the Bible of that. So to me, that would be my number one read, I think.
Perfect. Alrighty. And sort of, what do you sort of most attribute your success, and what are, say, the 5 key elements for starting and running a successful business, you feel?
Great question. I think you need to start off with a vision for sure. Mm-hmm. Dreams or a vision, either. I think that really is part of remembering who you really are. Yeah. Because I think as adults, we tend to lose path, I suppose, in what we really love to do as kids.
Yeah.
We get caught up in the busyness of life and really forget about what things were important to us. Yeah. Which is, to me, part of who you really are. So I think that's being able to recapture that, I think, is really important.
Yeah. So bringing back a creative element, or?
It doesn't necessarily need to be.
Yeah.
It's, to me, we form solid foundations from the age of 5 and up.
Yeah.
And I've found, for me, I still love the same things today as I did when I was a child, and I've been lucky enough to create success in those fields. So I think that's really important, because it's being authentically you, I think.
Yeah.
definitely having a goal, goals that will drive you, because I think having a very strong why as to why you're in business is what's going to drive you through the hard times. If you don't have a goal or something that's going to drive you, you're probably not going to stick around with it, because it can be challenging.
Yeah, definitely. I think that you obviously raise a massive point, coming back to the why and, leaving a legacy and who you want to be not only remembered for, but how you can, impact as many lives as possible, and just really connecting with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, completely my thought process too. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the third element would definitely be a plan.
Yeah.
You definitely need something there to guide you, and discipline and consistency, I think, would be the two last ones. I think particularly when you're working from home, you need a very high degree of self-discipline, because there's a number of distractions that can keep you from your business.
Yeah.
And continually just showing up, being consistent. I think it's important.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so what's been your most satisfying moment in business, Fiona?
I don't know that I'd put it down to one moment.
Yeah.
There's probably a few. I just love seeing people that I've worked with creating the results that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That to me just thrills me no end. The money for me is not such a big thing.
Yeah.
If someone gets a great result on a product, or they get a great result in their business, that's something that I just sit back and go, that is just the most satisfying thing and fulfilling thing that I think you can ever do, is when you see something, the results of your work with that person and seeing the transformation of the work that they've done. To me is just, insanely awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Your client success, becomes your success too. So that's great. So what sacrifices have you had to make, and obviously on your journey of becoming a successful entrepreneur?
Well, the first one would definitely be cash.
Yeah.
For me, I have invested a huge amount of money in my personal education.
Yeah.
In my, both from a business point of view and from a personal point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I think ongoing education is incredibly important.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a sacrifice, but, I suppose depending on where you are in your life, I suppose.
Yeah.
When I got started in business initially, I really got that you had to invest.
Mm-hmm.
I got that whole notion of investing.
Yeah. Which
was tough. When you're 22 and working as a receptionist, you don't have a lot of extra cash to float around. So, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I guess there are some things that I've had to prioritise in terms with my oldest son. Sometimes I can't just drop everything and run to the school.
Yeah.
So there are some things that I have missed that I think that maybe he's been a bit disappointed about. He gets that sometimes in the middle of the day I can't go to the school. He goes to school 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's a big chunk of my day to go there for something and then have to come back again. So, although he understands, sometimes he gets a bit disappointed if I can't be there for something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and as a mum you get a bit guilty, but, it's all about the bigger picture sometimes.
Yeah.
You just, like I said, you have to prioritise things.
100%. Okay. So where do you see yourself in your business in sort of 10 to 20 years?
Another great question. I really do see myself in 10 years as being a thought leader in my niche.
Yeah.
I really want to be able to affect tens of hundreds of thousands of people. I want to be able to say that I had some contribution in moving network marketing into mainstream.
Yeah.
Being as widely accepted as franchising is today, I see myself creating a massive movement around that and bringing it into mainstream media, bringing it into mainstream education. It's a pretty hefty goal, and I know I can't do it on my own. But I know that it's something that will happen. We'll get to a point where people will say, which company are you with, not you're in one of those.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there is, a kind of, people sometimes think that, is this MLM or is this, what kind of pills and thrills are you selling type thing. But it is, it's actually a really common way to make money, and, some people are really, really successful about it. So have you jumped around from different companies over the years?
I've been with 3 companies in the 23 years that I've been in the industry. Yeah. But I've been with my current company for 12 years.
Okay, perfect. And can you share a little bit about that company for the viewers, our listeners? Sorry.
So what the company is?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's For Life Research.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I'm a big believer in, culture starts at the top, and I love being in an environment that's very caring, very family oriented, and this kind of has what's suited me over the years.
Mm-hmm.
There's not sort of the rah jumping on tables and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which is not really my personality. But
yeah.
I'm all about finding a company that really sits well with you from an ethical and an honest and authentic point of view. Some companies aren't going to be for everyone, and that's perfect.
Yeah, well, that obviously reflects in, your success and your longevity with 12 years with one company, being a network marketing company. That's a long time. So something's working. So that's fantastic for you. So how can we get in contact with you, or follow you, or get in touch with you regarding your products and that kind of thing?
Sure. Well, you can find me at FionaJLindsay.com.
Mm-hmm.
I write blog posts pretty regularly. I've also got a lot of products and services on that site. You can read a bit about me, what my background is, and any upcoming events. I run a couple of events every year, and I host two meetup groups. But it's all pretty much there on my site, FionaJLindsay.com.
Beautiful, and we will have a link for that as well for the listeners to click on and hear more about you. Well, thank you so much, Fiona, for your time today, and it's been a pleasure hearing about yourself and your journey, and obviously the exciting things happening in the future for you. So any kind of parting words or favourite quotes or words of advice or wisdom for the listeners?
I think the biggest thing for me is just keep going.
Yeah.
The only way you're ever going to fail is to quit.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it takes 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
You never know how the finish line could be just around the corner, and you don't know.
Yeah. And you see it so often, some people will be so close and then they would give up, but they would be, so close to doing it and breaking through. Well, then there's the other end of the spectrum with those that fail thousands and thousands of times and then really make it, and it's like the straw that, not the straw that broke the camel's back, but the positive affirmation of that, so that the one that they finally broke through and did it. So that's great, because I don't believe there's any shortcuts to success.
Absolutely not. And I love the Edison story. 10,000 times. Think about where we would be today if he hadn't have persisted.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you think about how much the world's evolved in the last 100 years. So I hate to think what it's going to be like in another 100. Well, it'll be great, but I won't probably be around to see it. But I'm sure it'll be a lot different to what it is now too. So.
Yep. Faster and faster it goes.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, fantastic. Well, as I say, I look forward to following you and also watching your business growth too. So I thank you again for your time, and I wish you all the best in the future, Fiona.
Thanks so much for having me, Danielle. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.